Hello everyone, it's Brian here from McDuff's Cool Stuff. If you've ever tried to list things on eBay, you know that can be a little bit difficult using their page. It's great if you just have a few things to list, but if you have a lot of listings and you're trying to put several things on at one time, you can use a product that's called 3D Sellers. 3D Sellers is an alternative to the listing page, and it can really speed things along for you so you don't have to spend so much time scrolling through screens and looking for pictures. Now, I will say that eBay has streamlined the listing page for everybody, but to do a great quantity of listings like this, it's really time consuming, and this does save some time using when you use this. It does require paid subscription. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't have enough followers to worry about getting subscribers at this point. But go ahead and take a look into this. It's really worth your while, and the prices are very good. There's other apps. It's called Ink Frog, and there's other ones as well too, which I've also used. But this one so far I like the best, and I'll show you why in a moment. The purpose of this video is not to go into all the details of listing using 3D sellers, but because it'd be quite a long video. So what I'm going to do today is give you an overview of the listing process to see if something like this works for you. And on the left side of the page, when you have to obviously create an account and everything first, on the left side of the page is going to be all the large categories. And we were looking at the dashboard right here, which kind of shows you how many items you sold in whatever period you're looking at right here. Mine's not really a good reflection of it because I just started using it, and so things are kind of all over the place for me right now. So let's take a look at some of the other things. Now, if you get the basic subscription, the help desk is not included with it. So you can email them, I believe, to get your questions answered if you need. But they don't have like a live help desk, but you can buy it if you want to. The one that I use most of the time is this one called Products. And Products is where you're going to be doing your listing. And this is the reason why I like this one so much. When you use the eBay listing page, it's a large, here, we'll pull one up here. Okay. So let's say we're going to sell something. Okay. We'll make a single listing, and I've actually made a video on this before, but let's say I'm going to list a board game, which is what we're showing here today. And I'm just going to want here continue without a match. We'll say it's a used game. And then eBay's lister pretty much shows you everything in a vertical fashion. So you have to scroll through everything and go back up and down if you don't do things in quite the order that they're in. But it is a simplified version of what I'm going to show you today. So this one does look pretty clean. This is the new page. It looks pretty clean. To me, it really was a little more, it's more confusing than using 3D sellers. But it does have all the things that you need right here. You can certainly use this, and it's free. So, but we're going to use the 3D sellers one. And what I like about it is, let's say we're going to create a new listing. Okay. And I have already a game in mind that I'll be listing. And I'm going to show you kind of from scratch here. So I'm going to be putting in everything all together. The name of the game that we're listing is called 7 Wonders Babel. Okay. Now you can use these things to help you. You can search the eBay catalog. If it's in there, they'll be able to help you with it. Or you could actually put in the UPC right in here. I use actually a scanner, like one you see in the store, to scan the barcodes, and it'll put it right in there without you having to type it in. It's kind of handy. So you can check all the same things. You want to use a bold title, they do charge extra. eBay does charge extra for that. And then you have to put a category in here. You can type something in, or you can search the categories. But I know that mine is going to be under Let's see. It doesn't show my latest. Oh, yeah, here it is. Toys and hobbies, contemporary manufacture of games. So I'm going to choose that one. If not, you just type in your own. Okay. So I've got my category in there. Now, along this top here, there are tabs. And so what you basically do is you go through the tabs. And when you get down to the end, then you can go ahead and click the list button if you filled in everything properly. But there are a lot of details that you can add to this if you want. So I just got the title and the category here. The next one will be product details. And you'll want to make sure this is on the country that you're in. The currency is correct. And then the condition, you can put new or used in this area. And if the game has any condition issues or whatever you're selling has any condition issues, you can certainly type them in here. The next one is the SKU or the custom label. And then you can say where is the game located. I use this as a locator. I keep all my inventory in bins in different places. And so I know that in my storage locker, this game is going to be on shelf 1. So I just put shelf 1 here. And then if you want to put in the UPC code, you can right there. So I'm going to put it does not apply in this case. And then you would type in the brand of the game here. So that's like I also have a web page that tells me everything about these games. It's called Board Game Geek. Very helpful. Very helpful. So this one is publisher is Asmodee. And so I'm going to put that in here and see if it shows up. If not, you can always add your own. And there it is. And then you can put in other information there too. There's optional, but those are the ones that you have to have in there. I'm going to be skipping this one right here. This is the variations. If you're selling, let's say, t-shirts, for example, that came in different colors, you could go ahead and put in the different variations for each color or the different sizes of something that you have here. But unless you're selling specifically things like that, you really won't have to worry about the variation page, and you can skip right over. You go right from product, then I go over here to selling details. Now this is kind of a neat feature. I don't use it, but you can put in how much did you pay for it, the wholesale price, what is the shipping fee, and then it'll help you keep track of your profits on that. I don't normally have to worry about that because I keep track of that on QuickBooks, so I'm not as worried about that, but you can see, did you make money on this item here? You can put in your format, if it's buy it now or auction. I always recommend people use buy it now, do some research on the price and just price it out what it is. But if you are doing an auction, you would click over there. You put in your quantity, how many of the item that you have, and the price. So I use TerraPeak to find the price, which is owned by eBay. So this is called... let's see, 7 Wonders Babble. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so you can see that this game comes in different conditions. So this one is in news sealed. You can see they're in the $20 range right here. This one's new sealed. A lot of them are. This one is not, so the price is a little bit lower. So let's set the price of this game at $15 just to kind of stay competitive in this range. You can also check the active selling, and you see that people are trying to get, quite a bit more money in some cases, so $60 in this case. So he's kind of priced himself out of that unless there's something about that game, it's a Kickstarter or something like that, I don't really know about. So, well, we're going to set ours at $15. So I'm going to go over here, and I've got one. You can use these buttons here, or just type in the number 15. And then over here is, are you going to, want a best offer? Do you want people to make an offer on the game for you? For these, I've turned it off. Because if I had to deal with all the offers coming in, it does get kind of grueling, and a lot of them are lowball offers, and so I usually just leave that off. Private listing, you don't really normally have to worry about. Promoted listing is, I promote all of mine, and all you do is you just click this button over here and select the campaign. that it's going to be used for. It really doesn't matter which one you use. I have different campaigns on here, and these little question marks are very helpful. It tells you a lot of information about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the first one. So that's the campaign I use. Volume pricing is, let's say you have something that you're selling, they're all the same, but if people buy 2 or more of them, you can offer a pricing discount. It'll tell you if you buy 2 or more, save 5%, or you can adjust these amounts over here. But these, I only have one of them, so I can't have to worry about volume pricing. The next one is photos and videos. You go click over here, it says gallery pictures, and you're going to upload to your computer, or you can just drag them right here. You can click on this and it'll come up with the window that'll let you find the photos. A lot of times I end up dragging them because I need to see what they look like and make them larger. So let's see if I, here it is. I have 2 pictures, 2 or 3. No, I have 3 pictures. So I can select all of those, drag them over here, and then it's going to upload those, and you can move on from there. The item description design is if you wanted to create a design. I did one here. I created a design template. You don't have to use those, but the one I just called general template, and I put that in there. You can create templates just by clicking this button here, and it'll come up with a, oh, I don't want to discard my changes. It'll come up with, you'd want to go to this first, create a template, and you can choose from different styles, and it'll fill in all the information basically for you. And you can modify some of it, but a lot of it is best just left alone. Product description. This is where you want to put in a nice description of the product that you're going to be selling. And I'm very lucky that Board Game Geek has wonderful descriptions on here, and so I'm going to be borrowing theirs. So I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to put it right in there. And I always say match style so that they all look the same. And if you want to add any more information on there, you can. Like over here, it tells me how many players are involved and what is the age. So I'm going to put that information in here too at the bottom. All right, so I'm just going to go on to the next tab. All right, we're at the last tab already. Now, let me go back to description for a sec. There is another section down here that a lot of people, I believe, overlook. You can get the same thing on the eBay listing page. It says SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. This, if you fill in this information, it gives you better search results. Let's say someone types it in Google, it will search the web, and if it finds you have a pretty good match, it'll display your product in Google. People can click the link and it'll take them right to eBay, and they'll be able to get to your product much more quickly. So I always recommend filling this in. It does take a little extra time, but if you're doing a lot of similar things, it will. You can just duplicate this over and over again, and this information will stay filled in. So you do have to kind of change it around a little bit, depending on the name of the game. So the meta tag, the keywords you want to use is, first off, you could use the name of the game, 7 Wonders Babel, and just put a comma, and then I'd put like a board game, and then sometimes I put Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, but I'm not going to need to do that. I guess since I can't spell dungeons barely. So you can put in whatever tags you can right here. And then the meta description, if you're not sure what that is, just hold your mouse over the question mark, and it'll appear as a description in the search results. So if someone sees your product come up on Google, then they'll see this short description of it here. So you don't want to make it long. Matter of fact, it limits you to 160 characters. So I'm just going to use part of this description right here. Let's see if I can use this much. I'm going to copy this, And then we'll put that in the meta description. And this is a little bit too long. I'll just try and make that a complete sentence. Now over here, this is the mobile description. So if someone's on their phone, you can put in a shorter description in here because all the information, it's harder to see it all on a phone. So you can put a short description of it here. Matter of fact, this section right here that I had is a pretty good description, or you can start up here. Let's just put all that in. There we go. So I have that information all in there. The description, the design, with the template, the product description, and then the search engine optimization. And I'll go to policies. Now this is where you'd select what is your payment profile. Well, you probably want to be immediately paid for this. That'd be your best bet. Next one is your shipping profile. I also had weighed out, I did a lot of work on these before we began. So I know that this game weighs 2 pounds and 8 ounces. So we'll go immediate pay. So anything that's a pound or more, it's going to be shipping. If you use the post office, it's going to be going to go priority mail. So I'm going to find my priority mail. I don't want to use the free ones. I want the buyer to pay for that. So I'm going to skip past that. Here we are. I use this one, calculated priority 3 business days. And then return policy. This is my return policy. I accept returns for 30 days, money back. So under save locations, you can go under manage save locations and you can add where you're physically located. I have already done that. And it gives me my zip code, the city and state I'm in, and everything. See, now you know about where I live. I live in Dearborn, Michigan. And then this is something that they've added recently. It's you can put it in international on other sites too, but I'm just going to stick to the U.S. site. I already have international shipping, so should somebody from another country want to buy this game, they still can, but you can list it specifically on another site, on another country site. And then over here, you're just going to type what kind of package you have right here. So it's going to be a package, and then I'll use English, and the dimensions of the box, I believe I have 8 by 8 by 4. And then the weight, what I say was 2 pounds 8 ounces. So go 2 pounds 8 ounces. And then you're ready to go. Now I know it looks like it took a long time, but it's because I spent time explaining it as we go along. And there's my game right there. And then you can always check out the listing. It lists it right away for you. And I have there's for $15. And here's where the design template comes into play, right down here. And it gives a nice looking display for it. It gives them both. I mean, you can look at all the pictures up here as well. But down here, this just looks really nice. And you can see all the pictures. They all come in just fine there. And then there's my description, how many players, how long does it take to play it. And then you can fill in these if you want to. It's up to you whether you want to put all the payment information and all that, but people know they're going to be paying with their credit cards. They have to pay right away. I put down that I ship Monday through Friday, and then if you want to return it, you can. It's surprising how few people actually read that, but that's what it is. And then it's got my little logo down here and everything. My old logo is right there. And then you can actually go to see my profile, visit my store. Well, in a nutshell, that's what 3D Sellers does for you. It makes the listing process a little bit more manageable. You can get through them much more quickly once you kind of get the hang of it, practice doing it. But the most important advice I could give you is to make sure that you have everything in order before you even sit down to use this. Have your pictures, either have the descriptions already done or know where you can get them very quickly. Like in my case, I'm fortunate enough to be able to pull them off of this website. Also, make sure that you've weighed the thing and you know the basic information about it. That's always good practice to do that. That way, you're not sitting here trying to do all that research ahead of time. And use Terapeak. It'll give you the listing. This is what things have sold in the last year and what the prices were. Something, geez, it sold up here for $175, which I don't understand why it did, but who knows what happened there. And the same thing there, 131, which I would have sold at that time. So these are all, but you can just see those are kind of anomalies. This is about the going price for the game down here. It looks like it's in the, around the $15 to $20 range. So it's not a super expensive game. It's actually an add-on to the original Seven Wonders game. So anyway, hopefully this helps you out, gives you some information about using 3D sellers. I always welcome your comments below. I always answer them. I always get a notification about them. If you want to subscribe to my page, I try to put out videos occasionally. I'm not a power YouTuber right now, but I'm always happy to help out my fellow sellers on this platform. And of course, thanks for watching.